it's true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful
day. Welcome back to the Bird Box live stream. It's Wednesday night, Small Project Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good week. I do want to thank everybody that is watching us live, or if you watch us later, I do appreciate it. More so than you probably know, I do have fun kind of doing this, even though it's something I originally thought I would never do. But anyway, I do appreciate it. I do want to thank everybody also that has gotten any of our tutorials and kits for the wormhole cube. Kind of went over a little more than I was expecting, so I did spend yesterday getting some more kits made up. I got those ready to go, and so there are plenty to go out there right now. Like I said, I want to thank everybody. I was totally not expecting much from it, and more than I planned on. So that's a good thing. The first one I put out was the chain-ins. I thought it was going to go over well, and it went over somewhat okay when I first put it out. Then I put out the square-wired 4-inch dream catchers. There's a lot of dream catchers out there, so I didn't expect it to go big, and honestly, I think I've only had 2 of those sell. But it is different. That's the only reason I put it out there, because it is a lot different. If you were to get it, you would notice that the center is a lot different than normal. And whatnot. So then I put this one out. I wasn't expecting much, but I do appreciate everybody that's got it, the ones that have posted out there. If you get one or make one up, post pictures of it. Let me know. I'd love to see them. So tonight we're going to work on some scale metal tie. We were working on it Monday night a little bit. We'll clean it up. I was hoping to actually be further along than we are, but I've got a pink one here. I can't get fur back enough. I put one gold center in it, just cause. I've got the one that we were working on Monday night, the purple and green one. Hopefully it'll come out okay, all these pictures. And then I did a blue and a silver one. Each one of them is a little different pattern. This one's kind of an up and down pattern type thing. The other one was just constant diagonals. And we're working on one now that's I'm making the black just zigzag back and forth, and the orange will pop on the corners of it. I guess you'd have to look at the screen to see that one. But let me go ahead and get flipped over, and we'll go ahead and get started on this. I was actually hoping to be further along today, but it was kind of a crazy day. Actually, it started out pretty decent. I planned on going out and getting some yard work done. Went out there, but after about 20 minutes, I had to stop. Last night we had a storm move through. We haven't had any rain in a couple of weeks, probably 3 weeks or so, maybe even a bit more. And then we had sun today, and it made something grow out there, and it caused my allergies to go absolutely ape nuts. I mean, that was about 11 o'clock when that happened. I had to come in, and for about 3 to 4 hours, I could not stop. My nose was just constantly dripping. My eyes were all puffy and watery. It was just, I was feeling like crud, man. I was like, yeah, So tonight, we're hoping everything's going to go well. The last few hours have been okay. So hopefully everything goes well enough. And we can stream tonight, because I was worried at one point. It's like, I can't stream if I'm not going to need to be blowing my nose every 5 minutes. How am I going to be able to get anything done? So, but the plan was to go out. I was going to go out to about 12:30 or so, get some lawn work done, come in. I wanted to work on the scale metal ties here. I wanted to have this one done before we stream tonight, because I actually planned on working up the neck part, the knot part tonight during the stream. Is just a Japanese, basic Japanese two and two cut type neck area. But with me, I come over here and I'd be over here for about 2 minutes, and I'd have to get up and go blow my nose. Spend 2-3 minutes doing that, come back over, I sit down after 2-3 minutes again, I'd have to stop again. It was driving me nuts, so I ended up just stopping. I was like, I can't do this, it's driving me nuts. And so, didn't get a whole lot accomplished today. I did get some online work done, so I guess that's a plus. Some things I've been needing to get done, and some things I just been wanting to get done. I didn't get none of it near finished like I would want to, which I knew I wouldn't be able to, but I did get some done. But again, it was constant battle of the nose. And it finally started settling down a little bit, so I was like, okay, well, we're going to try to do the stream tonight. We'll see how things go. Hopefully it works out. I have closed up the house. It was nice enough to leave the house open, but I was like, I'm just going to be miserable all day if I leave the house open. So I closed up the door. And about an hour ago or so, I did go outside for a little bit. The winds had changed from the north. It got colder. I was getting a little bit of, I feel a little bit right there in my nose, but not real bad or anything. So I think it mostly went away, but yeah, it was kind of there for the first 2 hours. It was horrible, man. I was just constant. Yeah. So everything kind of got a little late start tonight. And yesterday I did have a possible laser order. So I was trying to get some setup on that. The thing with it was going to be, it was something that needed to be done by Friday. They've now decided to go not a different direction, well, possibly a different direction, but still getting some from me laser etched. But they might change up what they were wanting to do, and they're not in a super hurry. They didn't want to rush through it, and so that kind of gave me a little relief today, because I thought I was going to be busy doing some graphic work today and all that to get that done. And it kind of sucks in a way too, but I do know they will be coming back and getting something. They just kind of were wanting something in a hurry and had an idea. Now they've got a better idea of something bigger, better, and not in a rush. So, all right. So all my centers will actually be black, I guess, now that I think about it. But these are, I'm using the extra large scales for this right now. Look what's around here. Because I wanted to have some, I can make these fairly quick. They're a little bit cheaper than the others, and though I do need to refigure my pricing a little bit, because I did notice when I'm working on making a large order from TRL. Unfortunately, I'm still, like I said, I'm going to have to get this stuff, but I'm going to try to work in other stuff too. But I want to get these done so I know how many of these I need to order to replenish, because I got several colors they were out of stock on. Some I've used quite a bit of, so I need to replenish those. Because a lot of these scales I end up doing a lot of pendant style laser etched necklaces out of these large ones, because you can get a pretty decent sized picture on them. And if it's only that, you're not covering up like on the scale where you're layering it, where you're covering up a lot of the scale. You can use most of the scale. And so I make a lot of pendant ones out of the extra large. They thought about discontinuing them. I'm glad they didn't, and they brought them back, because they, like I said, they make good large ties like this. They're pretty quick and simple to do, and they can be a little cheaper than the small scale or large scale. I guess large scale. That's the only one. The small scales, I haven't figured out exactly why they want to curl up so much. I'm still trying to figure that out. I might actually get to them here somewhat soon. and try to work on it again, since I'm working with scales right now. Though tonight I'll be switching over once this one's done. I will have one more to do, and it's going to be a red, probably red and gold. But they've been out of red for a while. I don't have any red. I've been out, so I gotta wait and get that. But I'll double up that order so I can plan on it. But then I'm going to work out some large scale. I need to make at least 3, maybe 4 ties. Because I sold 2 large scale, and I actually only had, or extra large scale, I only had 1 large scale with me. Or, yeah, large scale tie at the past event. I sold it, so I'm like, I just need to make more. You know, you never really want to get a tie for Christmas as a dad, but you get a chainmail tie, it's a totally different story. So I want to have some and show the variety that can be done with them, the colors. So I want to have a good group. I got my grid walls yesterday, my new grid walls. Got 8 more panels, so I can basically line both sides. I won't need nearly as many for a normal tent event, but inside, my next 2 events inside, I'm actually going with double space. So I'm going to have a lot more space to play with, to show off things. So I needed more grid walls anyway. So I got those in. Though I will say, I haven't bought any grid wall. I bought 10 or so through the years, many years ago. Well, over a period of 2 years, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I had 12. I use them for other things too. But got my new ones in, and as soon as I started unpacking them, I noticed there was something weird about them. I was like, why? What's up with these? Why? They look the same, but they feel different. So I started looking at the coating, and I was like, well, look, that's the same. And I just happened to think, and I was like, maybe the wire gauge that they're making these out of is smaller. Because the whole unit felt lighter for one panel, and just felt weird. And sure enough, the wire they're now using to make the grid panels are smaller than previous. Which in a way sucks, but I only say it sucks because the current grid wall, now I basically have 2 different sizes. And I made up these grid wall, I 3D printed up some clips that'll go over it and slide down and hold onto the bars and kind of keep them together. I'm hoping they're going to work for quick assembly. But the file that I had found that did all that when I first printed up wasn't fitting my grid walls. I was like, well, every 3D printer is a little different. You know, you can be off by a little bit. I'm square, but it could be, you know, if I print a 1 inch square, I might be, you know, a 100th of an inch smaller, maybe a 10th inch smaller or something square. But it's square. Put the wrong one. But anyway, they were too small, so I adjusted them and got them working. Well, they were working with my old grid walls. The new grid walls, I put it on there and they're loosey-goosey. They're just flopping around on there, and I was like, ugh. Now, I did have some that originally didn't work. They were too tight for my grid wall, my old grid walls. So I figured, you know, I didn't throw them away. I about did, but I was like, oh, I'm going to just keep them, and I put them in a junk 3D printed box of stuff I have that I just print up stuff that doesn't work or something. It's still decent. I might be able to do something when they're not like design pieces for something for viewing purposes, but blocks, things like that. I'll print up all kinds of different type things like that. And so I saved them, and luckily I did. I pulled them out, and they fit the new grid walls perfectly. And I was like, figures. So whoever designed this had them designed for the new grid walls. So we got most of that taken care of too. Packed up the new ones, and I separated them. I planned on doing half and half in the trailer anyway, but I'm going to try to keep them separated. I don't know, I'm thinking I might add a little paint to the bottom side of a couple will let me know that these are the smaller ones, so I can try to keep them together. Because the other thing that I was worried about was if I don't use these little clips or Velcro or twist ties, I normally use the metal clips that you can get for them. And there are some aspects of using those that I like, but it takes a lot longer. Now, anymore, for another setup, I've changed things up, and I shouldn't have no problem, but we've always had a problem finding the freaking... I've got some that are Allen keyed and some that are screw-based, the Phillips screw. And whenever we go to set up for an event, finding the screwdriver was not necessarily too much of a problem, but finding the Allen wrench, because it was just a little Allen key wrench, it fall down and get in the bottom of a box or something. You had to pull everything out to finally get to it. So it was always a pain, and that's why I wanted to use little clips. And like I said, I don't know exactly how they work, but I got me a big T-handled wrench to do the walls anymore. I've got a special box that I've made up that's got all set up. No, that's one. All my setup stuff in it, ready to go. So I shouldn't have any problems finding or losing any of this to do any of that anymore, but we'll see how things go at the next event. But that was part of why I was cleaning out the trailer too, straightened it up, because the trailer has been set up for outdoor events, which is what we've been doing lately. But why does that look weird? It's right, but it just looks weird. Our next couple events are going to be inside, so I don't need my tent. I won't need the weights. But I will be taking more tables and stuff because we're going with a double area. So, I will say I also got an invite, first time as a vendor. I'm trying to think of how I wanted to say it. As a vendor, I'm always looking for what events can I get into. What local art craft fairs are going on. I'm always out there looking, trying to find events that we can try to get into, etc. Today, I got asked if I wanted to join an event. Now, I guess I should tell you that I have been asked before, but normally it's somebody that comes around to one of our events they're going to have another event in that same area a couple weeks or a month from then. That was a little different. Not somebody that had to either have my card or have somebody say, hey, I seen this guy or something, because I'm not exactly sure how they would have found otherwise. And it's up in St. Joe, which is about 45 minutes away. So it's a bit of a drive. So it was kind of weird to get it today, but kind of neat too. I mean, like I said, it's the first time I've been asked to come. I mean, it is more expensive. I didn't look at it in full detail. They offered a lot of different size areas, but at minimum, I would always want a 10 by 10. And they were just way out of where I'm thinking that I would want to go. But I say that, and I said the same thing with Gladfest. And Gladfest worked out well for us, so I need to probably get away from some of my scarediness of going to some of these events that I'm just worried about getting into the big events because of the money you got to put in to get into them. They're not cheap, and everything, the more expensive they are, that's the other side of it that I don't necessarily like. Bigger events cost more to get in. That raises your overhead, which means you got to raise your prices. If all I did was online sales, things would be a lot different, but I do. At one point in time, years ago, it was always events were our moneymaker. COVID hit, both sides went down right off. I started promoting more online, and then we started having more sales online, which was nice. And that helped, and now our events are starting to do a little better. So it's one of those, I don't know what I want to do anymore. I know at some point I will have to stop doing events. I'm just getting too old to keep doing them. Getting harder. Wife can kind of help during an event in a way, but she can't help with setup and breakdown anymore. So I'm kind of limited there. And my youngest daughter has been tremendous for me this year. I wouldn't have been able to do anything that I've actually done this summer and everything if it wasn't for her being able to help out and get some of this stuff done, because there's just no way I would have been able to do it myself. So, give a shout out to my youngest daughter, Starla. Son's just not into it. Plus, he's got his own health issues anyway. My oldest, I'm sure, would be more than willing to help, but she's got 4 of her own kids, so, you know, I get it. But at some point, yeah, I will have to start thinking about cutting back events, and just because unless I go down to a smaller setup, my audio sounds a bit funny. La. No, everything's looking good over there. I do have some extra. Yeah, I do have my other fans on over there. That might be something to do with it. Just the background noise is heavy tonight too. I didn't think about turning off the other fans. But there's my youngest anyway. Like I said, wouldn't have been able to do any of this in the summer and in fall if it wasn't for her helping. Are you back home? No, she went to see the doctor. Okay, so black on that one. These are definitely fairly quick, like I said. The neck part, these take, the basic tie part take me about 45, 55 minutes, depending. Obviously on a stream it's going to go slower. But, and I think the top, the neck part, I'm debating on how I'm going to do it. I normally do just a 1-in-1 chain around once I get there. I'm thinking I might try something a little different this time, but I also double lengthed it a little bit so when it comes around it double clasps to help hold its, these aren't heavy, they're aluminum, but I just kind of like to have the double clasp on them to give them a little extra. But I think those took me roughly, that was about a half an hour to do those. So overall, an hour and a half to get in to get these done. Much quicker than doing the large scales. Because on these, what do I use? It would be 45, 50, 51 scales, I think, is what I use for these. So about half of a bunch when I order. But the large ones are well over 100 and something, 160 I want to say, but I'm not quite sure. I'm actually going to pull out some of the charts that my daughter had made up for me a while back when I was working on a few, and we'd actually transitioned from moving on from large scale to small scale, and she made me up a bunch of more small scale. The smaller scales you go, the more details you can add into it, obviously, but I got to the point where I ended up stopping because the small one wasn't working the way I wanted. But in the meantime, she still had several designs out there for me, so I'm gonna get those back out. Like I said, get me about 3-4 more large scale ties. And then I actually need to, I did not realize that I'm down to one chainmail tie, and it's crap, is it wrong way or right way? I think that's right way. It's one that I made that isn't open. They're made side by side, standing, so that it's really tight, and I put graduations in it, and expansions, I mean, and made it more tie-shaped all the way down. I mean, it's a really cool looking thing. Used a ton of rings. Took me many hours, but a lot of my others are wrong way ties. Girls really seem to like the wrong way ties. being a bit smaller and more necklace style. I've sold quite a few of those, 3 or 4 of those. I've had a silver, a red, a blue, but I only have one left, the blue, and it's really large rings, so it's really an open tie, and so I want to make a couple that are smaller. So, and with the room I'm going to have now, that's one reason why I want to get these ties going, because I'll have much more room to hang them up across the top now. I wasn't able to necessarily do that before. So I should have a good group of ties going. Well, now I can get back to one of the things that we haven't been able to get out at the last mini events has been wallet chains. I tried to put them out at one event, but they were kind of hidden, so nobody ever really seen them. So now with having more room and stuff, I should be able to get them more out there and more located, which means I'll probably need to do a couple more, because I think I've only got, well, actually 3, 4, 5 chainmail ones, and then I probably got 3 or 4 bike chain ones. So which way is it going? So that one will be on this side. I started on the wrong side on this one. Duh. I was wondering why things were feeling weird. Well, last night, okay, we had the storm come through. It was kind of a late storm. Well, it was a late storm. I knew it was coming in. They said possibility of rain. I was up kind of late. Around 1 o'clock, I started checking the weather. Said it was going to hit around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I was like, okay. But it was probably then about 1:30. I was ready to go to bed. And I couldn't get Buzzy in. He wasn't hanging out where he normally hangs out in the yard. I don't know, here lately, I think at night he's been kind of wandering a little bit. So yeah, I was sitting there trying to get him in, and I couldn't find him. He wasn't coming in. I was like, alright, I didn't want him to stay out. I hate leaving him out overnight. So I stayed up, and it was kept getting closer. The storm was kind of starting to move in. I thought for sure once the rain would start, he would come in. Dummy didn't come in. By that time, I think it was almost 4 in the morning. I was just losing my mind. I couldn't think straight because I was so tired. I wasn't working on anything. I was watching TV. I don't even remember what I was watching. That's how tired I was. It was just on, and I was just kind of every 20 minutes or so going out. Come on, you dummy, get in. And finally, at 4 o'clock, I was like, I can't do it. I'm just going to bed. So I got everything together, went up, got into bed. I was in bed for maybe 5 minutes, and the motion activated lights on the back of the house came on. I was like, now it was windy, so I was like, the wind might have activated it, because it sometimes does when a big group of leaves or something passes by, it'll sometimes kick on. And so I was like, or it's Buzz. It's still raining. I didn't imagine him being out standing in the rain, so I was like, But then I was going to feel bad if I didn't go check. So I got up. All I had on was my shorts. And no socks, no shoes, no shirt. I opened the door to see if he's out there, and sure enough, there he is, standing about 3 feet away from the door, looking at me, soaked. And then I realized this other animal is looking at me that he currently has in his mouth. I don't know where he got this thing, but he found a giant freaking rat. And I swear, I mean, this rat was, it was like, I live in the Midwest here. We have a lot of mice. I've never really been in New York or cities that have like rat problems. So I don't know what a rat problem would look like, or a rat for that matter. Only rats I've seen around here are people, friends that have had pet rats. Most of the time they're white pet rats. But this was a big giant freaking brown or black, because it was wet too, rat looking up at me, hanging out of Buzz's mouth. I mean, its body was bigger than a baseball round-wise. I mean, this rat was at least 6-7 inches long body. You add in the tail, he was probably a foot long. This thing was huge. And like I said, I keep calling it the movie rat because that's the only time I've ever seen rats this big. Even the friends that had rats were never this big. It was just crazy. And so I'm standing out back, a few feet outside in the rain, no shirt, no shoes, no socks, trying to get the stupid Buzz to let go of this freaking rat, who's alive, because the rat's just looking at me like, can you help? I'm like, I'm trying, Mr. Rat. I'm like, I hope he didn't hurt you. Because, like I said, he didn't normally hurt the animals. He wants to more play with them. When he does hurt them, it is all normally accidental. He's not doing it on purpose. Because he's brought in several baby rabbits, got them out of their den without hurting them, and brought them to me through the years. He's done a lot of crazy stuff. But, yeah, I looked down, there's a big old rat hanging out of his mouth. And, I mean, the mouse that he caught was a week and a half ago or so was so small, the whole mouse would practically fit in his mouth. This rat was so big. We've got baby squirrels out in our yard that were smaller than this rat. And finally got him to release it, and the rat kind of scurried off out across the concrete, out into the rain, to the darkness. I kind of looked at Buzz. I didn't see any blood on him or where the mouse was or the rat was, so I don't think he punctured his skin. I'm not sure, but I went looking this morning. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm assuming he was good to go. But yeah, it was like, you dumbass. And then I had to kind of woke me up, so I only slept for about 4 hours last night. I actually kind of thought I'd have a nap, but I was feeling good though after that. That's why I went outside and then had that problem, which made me almost want to take a nap on itself, but I didn't. Keep pushing through. I'm going to be tired tonight. Hopefully I can go to bed early tonight. I want Buzz doesn't give me any more problems. Well, or Marvel. They've all been, with the cooler weather moving in, all the cats have been a little, not necessarily on edge, just going a little cuckoo. It's like the weather change is getting to them. They're ready to run, do be wild. Alright, there's that one. Okay, I got a while. I don't need to count where I'm at yet. Where are we at in our time anyway? 30 minutes already. Yeah, definitely taking a lot longer. Doing it during a stream. Like I said, these are taking me about average 50 minutes on those three. Like one took me about 55. The one was 45. The longer one was the first one I did where I wasn't adding in my edging as I went along, and I think that's why it took longer. When I got done doing that, I was like, yeah, I think that's why I normally do the edging as I go when it comes to ties. Sometimes I'll leave the edging till later, especially if it's something wider where you don't have to edge till the very ends. It's something that's longer. It's not going to matter as much as something like this. Oh, dang it. I'm supposed to put rings on it, not attach it. So, since we are at the halfway point, I do want to thank everybody again. Let me give quick looks around, make sure I'm not missing any comments or anything. Hopefully I'm not. I did see my daughter posted, so hopefully I'm seeing my Facebook messages. But I do want to thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget to sign up, log in to, if you're part of Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Find us on those platforms. Give us a like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Follow us. So you get notifications when we go live. We do go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's the plan for at least the rest of this year. We might change some things up going into next year. We're going to play it by ear and see what happens when we get to that point. But I do want to thank everybody. Since we've been doing this, we've gained at least 100 new followers in the past year. And not huge, but I don't expect to. It's chainmail. There's not a whole lot of chainmailers out there, so I don't expect it to be huge or anything. But I do appreciate anybody that does give us some time and checks us out. And our next event, like I was saying the other Monday, I haven't got confirmation on it yet, but I'm almost 100% sure. I have no problem getting into this event because it's the first event. Hopefully, the first event, you always worry about how it's going to be run. Hopefully things will go well, but that's going to be, crap, I should have looked at the date again. November 12th or 14th, whatever Saturday that is. We're going to be going to Park Hill up here on Berry Road. It's their first time doing a craft fair event. I guess now they might have others run by different groups in the school. I don't know. First time we've done anything at Park Hill. So we're gonna we'll be playing that by ear also. Okay, thought I had one wrong again. But yeah, either the 12th or 14th. I need to look up that date and find out for sure. Be a Saturday, 9 to 4. And then this one I don't have confirmation on or filled out application for yet. For the Tonka Craft Fair, it has always been the first Saturday of December. That is my plan on still going and being at that one. I don't know if I'm going to go with 2 booths or 1 on that setup yet. I think I'm going to see how Park Hill plays out. If we do well enough, I might go 2. I just want to do 2 because then I can show off everything. Like I said, the last many events, I've had quite a bit still put up just because I had nowhere to put it. It sounds like a major issue. I mean, I guess it's a good issue to have when you have too much stuff, you can't get it all out. Because even when the way we did it, sometimes felt overly thrown in there. There's just so much stuff. So I want to be able to spread it out a little bit more. See how things go. No, I didn't put the rings on again. I can do it afterwards, I guess. But we were just talking about the new lights and stuff. I am trying to get up to 500. I figure that's still going to take us a while. I mean, I've been plugging for as long as I have been to get where we're at, but I do want to get up to 500. When we get to 500 likes on Facebook, I plan on doing a few bigger giveaways. I'm half tempted to go back and do the monthly giveaways that we used to do a few years ago. I stopped doing those. We just kind of got extra busy with everything that was going on for the business, health of the son, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of stopped doing that for a while, but I've been half tempted to do it again. We tried to do a giveaway last Monday of the kits. I was going to do a tutorial and a kit giveaway, a combo, but I wanted to at least get 5 people in here, which I think that's the max I've ever had in any one time was 5 people. So, but I wanted to have at least a decent crew in here before we were going to do it, and I think I only ended up with 2 that night. But Larry was here; he was the first one. I gotta give a shout out to Larry too, because he knew about me talking about releasing the tutorial and stuff about this for about a week. I said I'm going to release it on the 3rd, some point during the day. And before I announced it, because I figured I'm going to put it up, do my stream Monday night, talk about it, say that it's out there, it's available, then I'd maybe make a post about it. Before I even got that, it was an hour into being it up on my website. He'd already bought the kit tutorial. It was like, how did he even know it was there, other than watching it? So I gotta give a shout out to Larry for stalking my webpage for that. Him and Peg, they both posted some pictures of theirs. It's great to see. Hopefully I'll be getting some more here coming in with the other kits that have been going out here lately. Hopefully we'll get more pictures in of people's and maybe some with them. I mean, I've had a few of the color ones I've done, but I want to see some other people's design ideas and thoughts. You know, it's always cool to see what anybody else comes up with, you know, because it's always a little different, you know. There's only so much you can do with it, but sometimes it's just neat the different things that people do come up with. Sometimes I kind of do a little variation on something somebody else has done, and it's like, I personally like it. I don't know if others would, but I liked it. And the original was still good too. But that is always my thing. I talk about it at events a lot. Is the trying to pick You know, oh, yeah. We didn't talk about this, and I'm going to have to show them. Since I am working with scales, yesterday I got in my Steampunk Garage, all set, all colors set. And I haven't even pulled them out. I pulled them out to look at them this way. I haven't pulled them out of their bags to feel them yet because I know they're going to be awesome anyway. But I was like, man, they look so pretty. And one thing I was thinking about it, I was like, so many different shades, and all her shading of her colors give me that impression of titanium, anodized titanium. The green, it can come out not exactly, but really close to this green. The purple, this violet, is really, really close. The bronze, the colors, I think will go. The only thing that you can't get is the red in titanium. So it's different. There was 2 shades of red in this, and you can't get this kind of color in titanium. But if you could, this was kind of how I would picture it looking because of how all the other colors come out in titanium. So I'm so ready to get into these that I don't even know what I want to build with them yet. I'm going to end up getting the other stuff. These are, I don't know if she calls these large or not. They're the equivalent of TRL large scales, and they are just so pretty. I love the colors. I'm going to be setting a group aside on the side of these, and I'm going to laser etch and see how they take laser etching. But yeah, these got them in last night. Well, actually, I didn't even know they were in they came in the mail probably around 4 or 5, but I didn't know. So about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, I had checked the email saying it delivered. What? So I had to go check the mailbox. And then I also got 500 of her, I'm guessing these are small. Yeah, these are the small ones, not the petite. Stainless steel. Now, I did open up these, and man, these are so smooth, so shiny, so nice. I am so looking forward to building something out of this. It's going to be heavy, because it is stainless steel, but they're nice, pretty scales, man. If you're looking at getting some scales, check out Steampunk Garage. These are premium. These are stamped, or punched up. Oh, excuse me. Punched and then cleaned, tumbled, I'm assuming, because they're nice, smooth edges, and then anodized. So it does make them more expensive than what we're currently working with here. See how the edges are silver. I don't know if you can see them on any of these, but the edges on them are silver because it's a anodized sheet. They stamped out, and so you get silver edges. Those are stamped, cleaned, then anodized. So the process is a lot longer, and they're going to be more expensive. It's just how they're going to work. But they're beautiful, beautiful scales, man. I've only gotten scales from TRL. I got some from somebody, I can't remember who it was, off Etsy, and they were just repackaging TRL scales. They didn't say that anywhere in the listing. I was not necessarily unhappy, but I wasn't exactly happy either, because a lot of people that do resell them on places, they'll say these are TRL resell scales. So I was a little bummed that they didn't, and then I forget the other place. I got those, and they were awful, and that's why I haven't even bought anything else from them because of that. They might have some other good stuff, but what I got for scales, and I was like, there was no way I could turn around and sell them. They were so blotchy, so scratched up. I mean, TRL has its own issues with some of theirs, so. Hey, Bobby, how you doing tonight? Working on some, what screen we're on? Load up the screen. Working on scale mail ties. Working up several colors. I sold out of them, all but my silver at the last event we had. So I'm just working up some different designs and extra large scales. That's what I've been working on the last couple days, just getting done. Made up a couple different designs, different colors. Right now I'm kind of working on a Halloweeny version. So I hope you're having a good night. Been busy. Hoping to see some more wormhole cubes pop out up here soon. I know I've got some, oh dang it, where'd you go? I dropped it, it went away. Alright, jeez, pain in the butt. Hoping to see some more of those. Amy from the Friday night group, I think she got some. She didn't get the kit, but she got the ring kit, so she can build her own. I'm imagining she's got some color combinations. So where did you get these scales here? These are TRLs, extra large scales. It's normally what I use for these ties, the extra large scale ties. They work pretty good. Like I said, they're bigger, they go together quicker. I can sell it cheaper, and you know it puts they like it, and then they see the large scale ones that are smaller that are more expensive. Ooh, I like that one even better. So, like I said, I'm gonna be doing some large scale. Then I'm gonna do some regular chainmail. I need a couple small ringed, wrong way built. Yeah, wrong way. Wrong ways. Yeah, I always get wrong way and right way confused in my head because for years I had it in my head a different way until I really learned what they meant by that. So in my head it was different. So I always still have to tell myself wrong way, right way. Which way is what? Because to me, one way, I think the right way seems backwards to me. Yeah, these are TRL. I'm planning on getting, I wanted to use these up. I've got a lot of extra on some colors. There were some colors I'm out of, so I will be making 2 more of these because I'm out of red. They were out of red for a while. They finally got it back in. And I needed gold. And they added bronze. That was a new one, so I'll be ordering a kind of a group of that. But have you gotten any of Steampunk Garage scales? Man, they are nice. I mean, there's a thing about the premium scales from TRL that I kind of like in a way. But these, like I said, they remind me more of titanium anodized coloring than a bright green, a bright orange, your basic plow colors. Can't afford them. Well, I guess they were about $1 each. I mean, it was a... but I wanted all the colors, so... I mean, I was just going to pick a color and buy what I could of them. But I was like, I want them all. I want to try them all. And like I said, the stainless steel ones, man, these are... I haven't pulled these out and felt them, but I felt them at her booth when she was in town. These I opened up, and man, these are so pretty. These feel like my titanium and my niobium ones whenever I tumble my own scales. Say, you know, if you ever get a chance to get some, though, boy, they are some nice, pretty scales. All right, where was I at here? So we're on the orange on this side. So what am I looking like? I haven't even looked at this one over here yet, so I didn't know how this design was going to come out. Not too shabby. Like I said, it was kind of just... Oh, I got a screw up here, though. How in the world did I do that? Should have been this one, then this one. Because, okay, so this black, I got to flip these 2 around. But that's going to flip every one of those around. Oh, man. Yeah, Steampunk's scales, or what you're talking about, they're luxurious. Oh yeah, they are. When I got to go play with her pieces there when she was in town, I was like, I've been putting them off for a while. Everybody talked about them, and after I felt them, I was like, okay, I'm buying them. That's all there is to it. I can't believe this. I'm gonna have to go back through. Yeah, right there. I didn't even see it on this side. 2 and back to back. Man, that sucks. I'm trying to look at it, see what might be the easiest way. If I only had to do one, it wouldn't be so bad. But being that I just have to switch these 2, but then that's going to throw this one off, throw this one off, throw this one off, throw this one off, throw these 2 off. So, oh crap, I can't believe I did that. Okay, can I?
if I take these off, pull those 4 rings out, that should drop all that out. And then I can plug in, and then I wouldn't have to change the rest. Let's try that. Hello, Starla. Does it sound better for you? It is for me. Yeah, I think so. You said it was okay after a few. Sometimes it gets a little weird. I'm not sure why. I did have some extra fans going on tonight, though. Okay, so these are where I want to pull. If I can find my closures now. Alright, so there's one. It's going to be this one. If I can get in there, maybe. We'll do it that way then. Yeah, I never had to dissect a tie quite like this. So this is definitely a new. So this will be these 2. Alright. I'm feeling a little more confident that I'm not going to have to pull out all these rings. If I can just shift it all down one, this could work out okay. Come on out of there. We're going to hope. Yeah, I would have pulled out her rings, played with them a little bit more until this happened. Okay, so I probably need to pull these 2 out also, though, so they're not in the way for attaching up the other. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that too. I can't believe I did that, and I can't believe it took me that long to finally notice it too. I mean, it's easily noticeable from the back, but I didn't notice it till I flipped it over, so. Part of chainmail, though. I don't know through all the years how many times I've had to take apart something to rebuild because of some weird little screw up somewhere. Sometimes you don't even really notice it, but it would drive me nuts. Okay, so let's get these going. This goes the upper. I got my 2 dangles. So if I go ahead and just put in black one over here, that should fix that. Try to open a freaking scale. What am I thinking? Yeah, I can open a scale, no problem. Sad thing is I've done that before. Put it in plier, grabbed a scale, put it in there, and went to grab the other side and got it right. Before I started bending, I was like, what am I doing? And just as bad would be grabbing a freaking EPDM rubber ring and doing it. Now that I did twist. I put it in there and I grabbed it and twisted it, and it was like it didn't open. And I let go and it pops back in, and it pops back to be round. I was like, oh, that's a rubber ring. I guess that's why it didn't open. Alright, so tuck that one in there. And then gonna have to be the tricky part's gonna be connecting it back up. Now, it should only be 4 rings right there if everything worked out right. Definitely saving some time in the long run instead of having to pull all those out. Like I said, it would probably take me longer to pull that apart than it took me to build it. Starla's up here putting some rings together too. Yeah, sweet. Been a while. Alright, so got that one. So we'll put the orange on the other side. So why did I only have one orange? That's black. Let's go into the propers. Yeah, everything's right there. I don't know why this looks weird to me. Alright, so put 2 on. If I wasn't been so far, I could have maybe changed the design element and flip it back and forth, but I went so far already on it. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's either got to be just completely fixed or completely taken apart. Drive you nutty. Alright, so that one's back. I'm going to put that one through this way. And I guess I do need another center though, right? Yeah, I will need another center too. Because I'm on 2 and then this is 2, I need the middle for the connecting. And they're all black, so that should be no problem. I will say too, I do screw up a lot more when I'm streaming than when I'm not streaming. I don't know why. Well, I'm sure it's because I'm just talking, looking around, thinking of other things while I'm doing this, but other time, well, I talked to a good friend of mine I hadn't talked to in a while. He's had his own health issues for years, and he called today, and we were talking for a little bit, and he got a call from his doctor, so he's like, I got another call, I'm going to put you on hold and stuff, and he's like, if it takes too long, just hang up, and I'll call you back when I'm done. I ended up coming up here to the bench. It was about 4 o'clock or so, and I put it on speakerphone, and I just kind of sat over here and worked on some stuff while I was waiting on him to get back. He's like, you could have hung up. He came back. It's probably, I was like, I almost forgot about it, dude. Alright, so this is my uppers here, so I need that center black, but then we're going to be back to our pattern. So that should work out okay. Not as bad as I was expecting, I guess. I really thought this was going to be a total waste of an hour at one point. Glad I looked at it a little longer. I just about started just ripping rings out, and I was like, let me think about it, Is there anything I can do that I can do that will fix this? And I believe I found the way, which is good. I mean, most times you can do that. It does depend on which weave it is and all that, but even though we're doing scale, it's scale mail is basically still just European 4 and 1. Your scale is the 1 going through 4, so even though you're not opening the scale. Alright, so get all these rings flipped properly. I got my extras on that. So then these, I'll do the center first. Yeah, I think we're going to get pretty lucky here. Other than the waste of time to fix it. Up under. Down. Do the other side. A little bit more there. And come around. I need an angle here. I just need a little angle. I dropped it. Figures. Alright. And that's why I started putting the edging on, because it was getting a little more difficult to try to get all that. Actually, I'm looking here, I think. Okay, I'm going to have to add another ring to that now that I'm looking at it more. Alright, through you. Get back over here. Because I still got those center rings in that are my edging rings, I guess, if you want to call them that. Over there that I need to work in. Okay, those are going to be fine. Okay, so I don't need those, so yeah, I just need a ring on each one of these, and then I can put in the edging ring, and we should be good. So, what was that, about an extra 10-15 minutes added to this tie. Where were we at anyway? We're at an hour. I don't know, today it doesn't feel like it's been an hour at all. Well, let's get this one in. We're gonna get this back to where we were. Then we'll flip it over and give it a quick look. It should be right. Come on. I know you want to be difficult. We're in the middle. I know. Oh, come on. There's you. There's you. Come on. Everything's definitely more tighter in the middle of this than when we were building it down. Alright. I think that's right. Quick stretch, I think. I think that's right. Looks right. I guess if it holds straight and it's the right combination. Oh, this one's going to be a pain. Though, because of the way maybe not so much. Okay. Yeah. A little easier than I was expecting, actually. But I did twist it more than I would normally. Up and under. Come on. Yeah, I did barely open you up, didn't I? Yeah, we need you back up in there. Alrighty. I think that fixed it. Looks good back here. I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but I love the sound of picking this up off the table. It sounds so cool. Alright, now it's looking better. Those two oranges together kind of stood out as soon as I flipped it over, so definitely a lot better now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 6 more centers, which will give me 12 more outer, or 10 more outers. Finish this up. I was hoping we'd finish it up during the stream. I should have got more of it done before I started streaming tonight, but it is what it is. Let me go ahead and flip over to the ugly old face cam. So, I do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you're joining us live, watching us from the beginning to the end, it's good. If you're watching us later and you're just picking out parts to watch, I do appreciate it. Like I said, kind of having fun doing this, but we get people, we don't get people. I'm just here having some fun, so drop in when you can. Don't forget, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You can subscribe to any of those on those, and to get notifications. And I don't know if you're getting notifications through Facebook. I no longer do, but I don't know if that's because this is my thing. So, otherwise, tonight's Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday. I'll actually get out the inlay. Hopefully I can get a little bit more done on the inlay tomorrow before we get into streaming tomorrow night. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday night. And we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday night at 7:30. See you then. Peace.